right, hello everybody. This is Rob Thomas. I'm a BG5 enthusiast. I'm a BG5 consultant. I do have a practice, and I just love all things BG5. And so today, I'm going to have an interview with the Rebel Belle, Tuck Self. Now, really quickly before we get started, for those of you who are watching that you're just now finding out about BG5 and or human design, let me clear up something for you really quick. BG5 and human design are in the same family. BG5 is the career and business application of the human design system. So, without any further ado, I want to introduce the Rebel Belle, Tuck Self. She is a Southern voice for bold self-expression. Hello, Tuck.
Hello, Rob. I love that you called yourself an enthusiast and that I call myself a personal growth enthusiast. So from one to the other, happy to be here.
Yeah, great. Well, yeah, thank you for being here. I'm excited about our conversation. One of the things I always like to do from the beginning is just give our community and those who are newly joining our community the opportunity to learn more about you. So can you share with us, Tuck, who is the Rebel Belle?
I was going to initially say, how long do you have? But that wouldn't be very nice. The Rebel Belle grew out of a branding back in 2005. And it, at that time, Rob, had more to do with the people that I was going to work with. What it has grown into here, 2020? To me, it's more of a brand identity. It started off as pushing against something. You know, I'm a Southern woman that grew up in the 50s, living by the rules and the roles and the expectations of other people. So my journey has been one of finding my own authentic voice and boldly and authentically expressing that. So to me, the brand identity is more one of ownership today, where I am okay calling myself the Rebel Belle, a Southern voice for bold self-expression, and that I am an advocate. I am an enthusiast, I love that word, and an advocate for people to find their own unique voice and to use that and to express it. Full tilt boogie, Katie bar the door, no holds barred, fully being who they are without apology. So that's who the Rebel Belle is, an advocate for greatness.
I love it.
With no enthusiasm whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. So, one of the things that I admire so much about you is that you're boldly self-expressed about being boldly self-expressed. And then, that is, of course, it's something that you stand for. I see this even when I'm doing an analysis of somebody, how they kind of keep themselves quiet. Yep. They're holding themselves back. We can see this through the shadows and distractions and other aspects of their career design. So yeah, the fact that you work with individuals, and I mean, you've been doing this for 15 years now. You've been helping people find that and project themselves forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I was initially introduced to, and it was initially human design that was my entry into BG5 was human design. It was back in 2003. One of the things that I have said since then was I was holding all of these aspects of who I am like a cork underwater. I was diminishing my voice. I was hiding my expression. I was trying to find ways to express myself that were appropriate, because everything that my chart says I'm here to express and broadcast, the world was like saying, no, you can't do that. That's not appropriate. You're too loud. You're too this. So I too didn't even know I was hiding. And when someone introduced my chart to me, my design at that time, I have said, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last to express the true nature of who I am, which is the beauty to me of what we see in the design. We get to see the natural aspects of our greatness that we're here to express without apology. And I think that was, you can feel it in my energy. It was pure freedom to get a copy of my imprinting and my BG5 design back in 2003. And it has changed my life forever.
Wow. Well, beautifully put. So, You've talked a lot about the work that you've done with bold self-expression and helping individuals. All of us got the opportunity to find BG5 and then make that choice to begin to participate in it, either as a student or maybe as a client or a business owner who takes it and they want to use it for their own business. Could be a career coach, could be a consultant, could be a counselor. Why did you decide to pursue BG5?
The first when my sister brought it into my life, she knowing that I am a personal growth enthusiast who loves self-examination, and not only that, Rob, it really does float my boat to give other people practical tools for self-empowerment. I'm not about charity. I'm about empowerment. I'm about philanthropy. I'm about giving people whatever I can give them to find their own inner authority, their own inner power. And being able to give someone their chart, to me, it was like giving them their best friend. It's like giving them their soulmate. I have loved my design since 2003, and it doesn't matter. It's evergreen. As I grow and expand in different ways, I continue to see different aspects of myself in my chart. And I'm talking about me. However, this is how I work with my clients. One of the things that makes me happiest is to be able to release negative energy, release conditioning, to suddenly understand why I'm in denial, why I'm in blame, shame, guilt, pity, moral outrage, all of those, what Rob would call the ignorance of conditioning, right? One of the most beautiful, beautiful gifts to me of BG5 and design are the open functions in our designs, where we have the opportunity to see where we're stuck, where we have our head up the wrong end. Like, to be able to release conditioning to me is orgasmic. It's beautiful. And to be able to give a client literally a roadmap, not only for the greatness of who they are, but all of the places where they're stuck and they don't even know they're stuck. And it's their chart. It's not like they can put the projection or blame anyone in the outside world. For you and I to be able to get people out of their heads, into their hearts, it is the most evergreen tool that I have ever, and it can be applied to everything that I've done. Any other modality that I'm involved with, we can bring this imprinting to, and like glove in hand, it fits beautifully to me.
Wow. Yeah, I really like how you said that. And you said a couple of things that have really, really piqued me. First of all, you talked about the practicality of this. I'm sure you've seen other systems where it was more theoretical than it was practical, right? It was just felt like a good idea, but kind of dropped you off. And then you talked about just the specifics, and then the hand and glove aspect of being able to take this information, and regardless of modality and possibly even circumstance, you can weave this into the conversation and achieve the desired outcome for the person that you're helping.
Yeah. People love to hear about themselves. I don't know if you've had this experience. A couple of years ago, I was working for a nonprofit, and I wasn't, part of the management team at the time. And I went into the manager's meeting with everyone's designs. They were absolutely floored, Rob, that the jobs that they currently had, as they were looking in hindsight, fit perfectly in hand in glove with their BG5 career types. And they were hungry to hear more about what it is that they could do to improve themselves individually based on their designs, but to also work together and to work together as a team for the good of the team and the good of the business.
That's a very cool example, Tuck. I mean, and how cool for them to be able to see that, wow, there's no accident, there's no coincidence here. I'm actually living this design, and I want to learn more. You talked about that. That was one really awesome application. I'm sure you've got hundreds of stories to tell. You talked about the open functions as well. As you've been practicing as a BG5 consultant, are there any other specific ways that you're using BG5 to help your ideal clients?
My humor sometimes can be off, a little off. I laughingly say anyone that's brave enough to step within 3 to 5 feet of my energy field is going to hear me advocate for their greatness based on their design, whether it's their personal life or their business life. And personal life is business. I don't separate them. I want to be able to live a life where I'm doing what I love and love what I do. And I'm going to say that's my desire for other people as well, to live with joy, to live with creativity, to live with ease, and to be prosperous and to make money doing what it is that they love to do. So to me, it's applicable to everybody based on who they are, where they are. The old paradigm of neediness said, do what you need to do to have all the material possessions and trappings so that you could be something in the world. And what we get to do is show people how to be their authentic self, their authentic career type, right? Doing what their natural gifts inspire, because we get to see what the strengths are in the chart and what's holding us back, so that we can all live happy lives at our zenith. It's challenging for me to split the two, because if I'm happy in my work, I have a happy life. It's the way I do one thing is the way I do everything. And so, yeah, I want people to be happy doing what they love and being in the right career, because it makes a happy world, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm like you. I don't really, it used to grind my nerves when I hear someone say, it's not personal, it's just business. I mean, I just wanted to strangle the person, okay, and just like wake up. And the reason that I felt that way, Tuck, was because I'm spending 7/10 of my life awake at work, trying to earn, trying to survive. And so for me,
Yep.
it's always counted, and I don't really see the separation. And then you and I both know, because we've been in the business community, we've done business consulting, we've done lots of coaching, where behind every business problem is a personal problem.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
Because businesses are composed of individuals, right? So I love that you and I see things the same way, and that you imbue that in your practice. And I will tell you, I'm not even within 3 feet of you. We're a few states away from each other, probably about 2,000 miles away, and I can feel your energy. I can feel your passion for BG5.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone were to look at my design, they would be able to see frequently when I'm on a call with a client, Rob, and they have an open emotional intelligence function. Mine is not. Mine is defined. I will usually tell them, it comes as no surprise to you, I'm sure, that I am emotionally defined, and that it's who I am. I used to walk into a room when I was young, and people would tell me immediately whether or not I was in a good mood or not,
Wow.
simply by feeling my energy. But getting that kind of specificity in a design so that I know what I'm taking into a room, or to be able to tell a client, it is your responsibility to kind of guard your own wave. You can't just go dumping in a room at work. Be responsible for your emotions. There is so much beautiful, practical, powerful information in these designs that doesn't have to sit around as philosophy. We get to go live it, and we get to live it, with each other, and prove it and experiment with it. And I have not, over these, 15 plus years, found anything that's as evergreen as this particular system and tool. I love it.
Yeah, and
Kind
that
of
is
like a
clear.
snail.
So Tuck, one of the things that intrigues me about you is that not only are you a great consultant, but you're a good teacher. And I don't think that they necessarily go hand in hand, but I do think that sometimes when you find a good consultant, they're typically a good teacher. And we have this foundation semester coming up. The foundation is where everybody begins their path, their learning path.
Yep.
And you're going to be teaching the foundation course. Can you share with those that are watching this video what they can expect to gain from the first semester of taking a foundation course?
Yes. It's a great question too, with my experience over the years with people and their desire to understand their human designs and their human design charts. The foundation course is going to give people the basic elements of their design, piece by piece, where one piece builds on the other piece in a way that's simple, that's practical, that allows people the time to integrate the information, ask questions about the information, and then practice the information. And what I've learned over these years is you can't hear anything, you can't hear it enough times.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen people actually go back through the foundation courses and audit them, frequently. The information it's vital to how we are, particularly in this day and time, making simple choices every day about how we want to live, how we want to work, how we want to interact with other people. And the simplicity of the foundation course is, and it's in 2 parts. It's in 2 parts, which I love. And so foundation part 1 gets people grounded in that foundational information of who they are, which is AKA career type. The other thing, Rob, I'm a listening coach. I'm a trained communication and listening coach. And one of the big pieces of information that come in the basic course, we say communication, 95% of how most of us are communicating, personally and in business, is unconsciously. We don't even know what we're doing. This whole first foundational part of the course is going to give each person and each type clear information on how they're communicating verbally, but also how we're communicating non-verbally, unconsciously, which to me is huge in this day and time, particularly when people are running around in fear, scared of what might be happening. So it's the Institute has done a brilliant job, to me, on how they've laid out the courses and stacked the information week by week to be able to let people take it in, integrate it, experiment with it, and again, get the very basic nuggets of information about their own personal design, how to navigate their own world, make their own decisions, see where they get off track. And then who doesn't want to look at what your family's doing? Of your husband and your children.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a fun element. It's fun. It's informative. It's insightful. It's enthusiastic. It's all of the above. It's not all heady. It's not all heady material.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed about it is it showed the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was so ready to get out of my head when I took the foundation course. I wanted to know what was under the hood, like you and I were talking about earlier, so that I could drive this car the way it was supposed to be driven, so that I could have the ride I'm supposed to have professionally and personally. Right. So that sounds really, really exciting, Tuck. Thank you for sharing about your background, about the work that you're doing, more about you personally and what you stand for. And then thank you for educating everybody who's watching who hasn't had a chance to take the foundation course yet on what they can expect. So I guess I'd like to end off the conversation by giving everybody the opportunity who wants to connect with you some direction. How would you like for those that want to connect with you? How do you want them to engage with you?
Well, Rob, thank you for asking. I say one of the things that floats my boat in life is to be able to engage with other people's energy. Like, I really do love that. And one of the quickest way to go, which would support the BG5 Institute, is to go there and look at the professionals. I'm actually in the list of professionals on the BG5 website. So you can go there. I also want to sidebar real quick and say, if there is any aspect of human design that you love, take the foundation course. I believe that BG5 or design comes into our life. I really do believe that somewhere our higher self or soul has called the information in because we are ready to do something great with our lives. So that's one place that people can go. I'm a phone person. Like, I really like to hear people's voice. So I'm always giving out my phone number. So I'm going to say 803-665-0847. I'm a big believer, Rob, that if I don't resonate with you and you can't, like, my frequency bothers you, you don't want to work with me. However, if anything that I do resonates with you, I'd love for you to come and play in this arena and learn about a tool that's unparalleled, like really in our time today. You can also email me, but this is complicated because my name is Tuck, 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 at the Rebel Bell. And that's not like the one that you ring. So it's THEVELBELLBELLE.com. I have tons of YouTube information. You can find my website, which is therebelbell.com. All of this is on recording. So you can go back and listen to it again. But I will engage in any way possible to share what I believe is the tool of the 20th and the 21st century for personal and self-empowerment, and putting us all, giving us all a way to live our lives and to work and to prosper in ways that gobsmack us.
Wow. So there you have it, everybody. And Tuck.
Yes.
Thank you for making yourself so accessible, right? Thank you again for giving us your time today. Mm-hmm. Everybody, you just heard from Tuck Self. She is a foundation instructor. She's a BG5 consultant. She's been helping individuals for 15 years stand in their own bold self-expression and move themselves outward into the world. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, you can always just go back to our Facebook page for the Business Institute, and we also have a YouTube page as well. So Tuck, with that, I want you to have a fantastic afternoon. And
thank you, Rob, and thank you for all you are doing at the BG5 Institute and for all that you are in the world as well.
All right, you're welcome. Bye-bye.